Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset Episode 40. This podcast is about anything and everything related to Destiny the game. If you enjoy playing Destiny as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, we got some amazing Arms Day rolls, learned about more PlayStation exclusives, and we welcome MTashed on the show to discuss all the sandbox updates. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. This is Arrow Knight, and here with me is my good buddy, Cyborg Sasquatch. What's up, man?
I'm here.
You're here.
How are you here?
I'm here. Yes. And
Good.
this is
Gang's all here.
Gang's all here, but there'll be another part of the gang for this episode for the main topic, right?
Yeah, we got a very special guest this week. Very excited to have him on.
Yes, we are.
Yep, it's Mr. MTashed.
Super cool, man.
Love him, hate him, he'll be here.
Yes, he will be, and we will be breaking down the Sandbox Crucible stream that we got this week.
Oh yeah,
so hang out for that. Yep. But before we do that, right? We've got a pretty exciting geography lesson as far as I'm concerned, man.
Yeah, this one's great, man. Let's jump on into announcements, and let's do Cyborg's Geography Lesson of the Week, the part of the show where you get to hear about a listener from around the world. So this week we have Mr. J. Hong Pelagio, and he hails from Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. And he writes via email. He says, "Hey, Cyborg, first time, long time. I'm here at Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Here in Dubai, you can find the only 7-star hotel in the world, Burj Al Arab, and the world's tallest building currently, the Burj Khalifa. I always listen to your podcast while driving to work and while at work. I also support all the Destiny podcasts that I know. And can you suggest to me what other podcasts there are Destiny related? I'll try to hit you back up via email on that one, buddy."
There's plenty.
Yeah. I'm on PS4. My main is a Hunter with 319, and I also have a Titan 319 and a Warlock 318. I've been playing Destiny since the day it was released. I've been playing with my other friend in college, even though they're in the Philippines, and some Filipino friends I met here in this community here in Dubai. I've been playing with them since the first release of the Vault of Glass days, and I'm recommending it to them regarding to your podcast. Hit me up on PSN, Jhong Pelagio. By the way, Jhong pronounced as John. Okay, well, I've screwed that up. I can Sherpa the new players here in the Derp fam to do the raid, Vault of Glass, Dark Below, and King's Fall, so hit me up. Thanks. Best regards, John Pelagio. All right. So it's pronounced John Pelagio, his gamer tag, but it's spelled how I pronounced it for you guys that want to add John. John, thanks for the email, man. Pretty cool region of the world. I'm sure a lot of people have seen pictures of Dubai, but I would love to see it in person.
Yes, plenty of pictures, and they're usually all very beautiful with skyscrapers, and I'm pretty sure don't they have like the man-made islands?
Yeah,
right.
Man-made islands that look like they have one that looks like the continents of the world. There's another one, I can't remember what the design was though,
and then that place was also in one of the most recent Mission Impossibles with the dust storms, right? I think.
Yeah. And they had Tom Hanks hanging off the side of the Burj Khalifa.
Yep.
Not Tom Hanks.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
That's the man.
That would be cool if it was Tom Hanks hanging off the Burj.
Yeah, that would work, right?
I'd be more impressed with that.
Right into the Polar Express. We'll just transition right into that.
I'm going to spend a lot of my time tripping over my words this week, guys. Just get ready.
It's all
already
good, man.
Started. All right, what else do we have in announcements this week, man?
Hey, we've got an email from Jordan. Them's tattoos. We kind of wanted to throw this at the top of the show. It relates to the awesome Derp fam spoiling us, the Destiny Reset host, Cyborg and I. He titles it Derp Fam Love, Derp Illuminati.
There's that dude Illuminati again.
Yes, I know.
everywhere.
Like they apparently had this secret group that apparently is still supposed to be secret and still very lively.
It's a conspiracy.
For what I understand. So he says, hey there, fellas. So I guess the cat is currently out of the bag now. I just wanted to shoot you guys an email to let you know we all appreciate everything you both do for our community. This gift, our controllers that they got us, is what he's referring to. Custom controllers, Destiny Reset controllers. He says it's from some of the awesome Dirt fam that wanted you to have something that you can show your Dirt pride with. We all hope you enjoy the sentiment as much as we enjoyed putting it together. Special shout out to Slarty for being the ringleader of the many Dirt fam that put their heads together to make this happen. I've been honored to be a part of this community and regular member of the Dirt Dream Team. But these guys are the real MVPs. I'm going to try and compile a list of names from a very top secret location so they can all get some recognition for helping out with this. So real quick here, and actually not real quick, we really appreciate this, and I'm glad Slarty kind of was putting a list together, but Them's Tattoos sent us this email so we could acknowledge each of you and say thank you so much. If anyone's left out, just know that we thank you also. But he listed here, a.k.a. Manny G, Boggs, TX, Andy Man, No Pity, Ben, TB, Peterson, Dookie Boy, which is Duke Aldo, I believe, right? Heaven's Oblivion, Dirt Fam Superstar Holden Court, Bit Dead, yours truly, Them's Tattoos, the man, the myth, the Canadian, Slarty Bartfest, Kinslayer, Matthew Wahlberg, Most Isley, Nick Wahlberg, Pack Devil, Silva Slaya, and last but certainly not least, WVU Avenger. Thank you, Arrow. Thank you, Cyborg. We hope these gifts find you well. Dirt Fam, the Illuminati will never die. Them's Tattoos.
Whoa, that's ominous, bro.
Yes.
You gotta watch out for those guys.
So thank you guys so much again, man, for sure.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and thank you, Them's Tattoos, for sending that email so that we could properly thank everyone.
They're still, at least mine is still sitting on my shelf.
Mine is too. I'm just gaze lovingly at it. And somebody asked me the other night, "Are you playing with it? Are you playing with it?" I was like, "No, dude, I can't bring myself to play with this thing. It's too pretty." They got it put together by Condemned Customs. Really, really cool outfit. If you want some custom controller paint jobs, go check it out.
So cool, man. We'll have to let them know if we use them. I'm planning maybe at some point to use it on a Trials passage or something, but if I even see a hint of that hashtag DirtFam like fading off after one passage, I'm not using it again after that.
No kidding. All right, man. Well, how was your reset?
My reset was pretty awesome, actually, dude. I got bitten by the Destiny bug again this week because I'd probably been playing the Division for a couple weeks, and of course, fitting in Destiny here and there. But Destiny, like it always does, man. Like I just instantly had to jump back in and start tearing into some PvP, man. Of course, we ran some trials last weekend on the rotating maps. We got a couple passages in. No 9-0 for us on that. A couple quick passages. But no Nightfall. I'm hoping
no Nightfall for you.
After next week, that may change. May start farming the Nightfall a little bit again. Did you run the Nightfall?
I think I did. It was, but I can't remember what it was,
I remember you telling me you did.
Did I run the Nightfall?
It was either.
Well, I'm having to work backwards here.
We're recording too early, man. This is the third Friday recording in a row for three consecutive episodes. It's throwing us off.
No doubt. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna work backwards. I actually ran a level 28 Prison of Elders.
Oh, nice.
I know I did that this week.
Did you get your Dreg's Promise, or do you already have that?
I already have that.
Nice.
I managed to get all those exotics in the House of Wolves era. So we did that, and we did, because it was the Sunless Cell, and it is solar burn, and it was grounded and fresh troops catapult epic. So we went in there, Sunless Cell, which is your boy in the prison that we killed, that was supposed to supplant Oryx's throne, but somehow there's some other taken already do that. How that works, I don't know. But we killed that guy. It's solar burn. Like I went in there with the what's the name of this rocket launcher that I love so much that they redid? That nobody plays with anymore.
Dragon's Breath?
There we go.
Yeah.
Dragon's Breath
Yep.
is great on that strike because it lights up the whole room when you shoot it.
Right?
So it was like, okay, let me put this right on him, and then everybody can figure out where he is. And we had 3 warlocks, all Sunsingers. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was
That's
Warlock
fine.
City.
That's fine in PvE. You could run those 3
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, you'll allow it. You'll allow it in PvE.
Fine. Or that.
Like,
or
we need
if you're
more
on my team.
Sunsingers in PvE. Self-res, guys. Yeah, so
Bringing
we
it
did
back
some of that
alive.
action. I got to hang out with some of the Derp fam in a big old party chat on Tuesday while we were doing all this silly PvE nonsense, and had a good time. Played besides that, played a little bit of skirmish on my own, just trying to work on my skills.
Yeah,
You know,
we actually fit in 2 different sessions of sweats, man. So
Oh man, where was I? Not
this
on PS4.
PS4 side, yeah. We've got to do it on the Xbox side together, man.
I know. So how did that go?
It was great, dude. We it was 2 different nights. We actually played last night, which was Thursday, and it's a lot of fun. It was unique, man. He's getting them together every night, pretty much. So we got a crew of a couple different sets of 6 on each different night, and man, I'll tell you what. Last night we played very first try. Unique and I were the fire team leaders and counted it down 3, 2, 1 to try to get that unofficial closed private match going, and boom, first try, man, loaded right into the game. Yeah, so
y'all got that magic.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It's I'm probably at this point since the first sweats night was early this week, but it was Unique, Terry, Davis, Most, Isley, Ben. There was just the usual guys, man. Businessman, I think, was in there at one point. So sorry if I'm forgetting anybody. It's been one of those weeks, but a lot of fun, dude. It's so fun, and a must that you have to do at the end of sweats is not unmute each other on the last round, the last game, and just have fun with goofy weapons, man.
Nice.
It's so fun to end the night that way.
Yeah,
so, it's good stuff.
Well, great. So any notable plays or deaths from that experience?
Well, actually, this week, man, last night while we were playing, I got a crazy... I already had a couple of them drop. One that I was using that was an okay roll on a party crasher. And I'm not much of a shotgunner. I've always got that sniper out. But when I saw they were going to bring back a universal remote, I'm like, man, I may have to try a universal remote sniper. But I did the other way around. I've started running No Land Beyond and my new Party Crasher that I got last night with some pretty awesome perks on it. And, dude, it is so fun. It's such a blast. And especially if Terry's on your team with the Striker Titan shoulder charging everybody all over the map. I think he posted a couple of his videos today. So with him on your team and a nice little fun setup, you can have a good time. I think he was driving them crazy on the other side, though.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. Unique's been he's upped his game on the sniping. He is popping some heads off with his sniper rifle these days.
Well, good. Stay over on PS4.
Yeah, stay on PS4 side of things.
I'm gonna be in real trouble when this crossplay thing gets worked out. All these guys are gonna come looking for me.
You're like, toast, hey, Cyborg.
No, you're not just on PS4 anymore, Cyborg. Yep.
Yeah, we also had this week, man. It was all over our Discord and Destiny the Game Reddit. The DIS 47 at Arms Day this week, and the Thiessen fusion rifle. Apparently, I picked mine up. I couldn't tell you right offhand what the rolls were, but they were apparently the most amazing rolls you could have on those 2 weapons. And Terry and I had been sitting on the 47 package for probably 2 months or more at this point. So good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you've been talking about your DIS 47 roll like waiting game for at least a couple months here.
Well, we picked up many months ago. We picked up a full auto that was pretty solid. But Terry, being the crazy stat perk guy that he is, he knew. And actually, to speak of the guest, he knew that MTashed had gotten, there was one more roll that was just a step above the one we got. And it has pretty much max stability, full auto. It's a scout rifle, Suros scout rifle, and it's this week, man. It's the roll that MTashed got on his
nice
many months ago. So yes, very cool. So pick that up if you happen to have the IS-47 package. At your gunsmith.
And your Thiessen.
Yes,
they have some good ones there. Unfortunately, I just got rid of my Thiessen last week.
Did you? Yeah.
Yep. And pretty sure I did. Yeah, I don't have that in my inventory anymore, and I never order these scout rifles because I have so many of them. Like, I don't need another one. And then of course,
there
this amazing roll pops up. But I'll live. There's other guns. It's another day,
Yeah, Manny even posted his Thiessen. He in our Discord chat. Like, it's just crazy how the buzz goes even throughout the Derp fam. Like, our community is just like, oh, guys, the weapons that are there today, like, you got to get them. And I don't hardly ever pick up packages. I couldn't tell you the last time. Maybe one in the last couple months.
You got Terry watching your back over there. So
I just happened to
pick it up.
I've just been happening to basically be setting on those packages. And yes, thank you to Terry for us picking up that 47 package forever ago.
Yeah. Our resident armory scientist.
Yeah, he's basically the reason we have Armory channel in the Discord
absolutely.
chat.
He's like, okay, guys, but I have to have Armory channel. Okay, here you go.
That's all I request.
Knock him dead, buddy.
I'm pumped too, man, because I forgot to check Zur today because he's still exciting for me on the Xbox side.
Dude, exotic chest engrams.
Yes, but guess what? He sells the chest engram the same week he sells the Alpha Lupi, dude, for the Titan.
Oh yeah,
yeah, which is fine because I'm
on your Xbox.
Dude, me and Tattoo have been waiting for that thing for quite a while.
No kidding.
So gonna pick that up, and then I'm gonna use the chest engram to try to get the garrison.
Dude, me too. And let me tell you, I have a lot of strange coins.
Yeah, what are you at, like 700-800 now?
I'm about to check because I stopped counting, but I'm going to pull it up and see.
Forever ago, you told us like 500, so there's no telling, man.
I'm going to let you know. Hold on. We'll keep talking, though. But no, I want that. And if I actually get that, that might actually make me pull my Titan out.
There you
I
go.
don't play on them much, but
it's fun,
if I
man.
can get that, I may go into PvP with them.
It's one of those things you gotta like train your brain. Like if you haven't played with it in a while, like on the PS4 side, I'll equip that thing and I'll forget that I have it on, and I won't even do any sort of use of it. And then I'm like, I'll see my character in the loading screen. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm not running Alpha Lupi. I'm running the garrison.
Right. So I have 790 strange coins.
Holy cow, man!
How much is a exotic chest engram?
Is it like 17? I can't remember for sure.
I'm going to find out. I'm going to see how many of those I can buy.
I need to borrow some of those, man, because I probably only setting like 50.
Give them away to you and whoever else needs them. But
let's see here, dude. They are, it should tell me, right? 19.
19, okay.
19, yep. Using the new app, man. I actually used that more this week, and I'm really liking it.
I know. I was actually just using it now, too, and I used to never use this app, but I'm loving it. That'll give me 41 opportunities. Is that enough, do you think?
Yeah. If you don't get it, maybe...
Do I need to... I probably need to buy them on my Titan, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, you can get random ones, but I would almost venture to say... It surely is more likely if you actually are on the character. I know I've gotten plenty of Warlock chess pieces, though, and other things on my Titan.
Yeah, I have too. I've gotten all kinds of stuff on my Warlock, but I mostly get Warlock stuff on my Warlock.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put them on my Titan and go buy stuff and see what I get.
Garrison's so cool, man.
I know. I'm sick of watching people use it, and I don't have it. Like, I want that. I'm gonna get it and then go level up a Striker Titan subclass. See what I can do. Become one of those scary guys, because they are scary and they're good. Tell me about Trials last weekend, man. Rotating maps. Did you play some cards?
Yeah. I mentioned that, dude. We didn't go 9-0. I really love rotating maps, but it was kind of like we just kind of nonchalantly went in and played a couple passages and kind of went to bed early. Didn't really like put our all night effort into it. I mean, of course we did on those couple of passages, but we didn't like do our 3 to 4 hour stint that we do sometimes. So no 9-0 for us. We couldn't make it happen last week. It wasn't going to happen. But how about you?
All right. That's all right. They'll forgive you. I didn't get into any trials last weekend. I took the weekend and reserved it for family last weekend. So I went to bed early, got up early, you know.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. So,
it happens, man.
All right, man. Well, sound like we had a pretty successful reset. I don't know. Anything else happen that is notable besides what those chest engrams could turn into?
That's about it, man. I'm noticing that sweaties is becoming more of a regular thing. So
no kidding.
Yeah,
that trend will continue, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. It's a good time.
All right, man. Well, let's get into some news.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Let's talk about this week at Bungie. This week at Bungie.
Did you say twab?
Did
you say twab?
I've heard people say
twab.
twab. So we could say that.
No, I like
please.
this week at Bungie, man. I like what you did.
Okay, I like this week at Bungie. All right, we got a cool pic of the deadly testers and designers or whomever they were that are employed over at Bungie that worked and played as the Warlocks in the stream. That was cool. Put some faces to some
all those Warlocks.
Some Warlocks. All those Warlocks. I love it. Look at all those Warlocks. Beautiful. Moving on, they did post up an article, a full write-up on the update preview that John Wisniewski has put together for us. If you want some more detailed patch notes on what's happening with weapons, be sure to check that out. We're going to talk about it a little bit in the main topic, but if you're a data and numbers guy and you want to hear John's beautiful, eloquent writing, I would be sure to check out that article. Mm-hmm. Moving on, they mention some stuff about the Bungie Foundation. They're working on, it looks like 2 different projects right now. One is supporting the Men in Kilts, which is a charity that supports, I think, a local Seattle hospital out there. And then another one is, what is the name of this one called? It is called the Gauntlet Tabletop Tournament. That's also kind of a local Seattle thing. So both these are great causes that the Bungie Foundation supports, but they're pointing out that if you want to donate to either, they're going to throw some rewards our way. Break these down for you. If you throw up $50, you can get a cool in-game emblem. If you throw up $100, you can get that plus a really bad caricature drawn by one of their programmers. Here's a really intriguing one. You throw up $250, you get all that, and you get to play Destiny with a Bungie dev. That one sounds pretty interesting. And then for $500, you get all those things and a caricature drawn by an actual Destiny artist. So they've got all this cool stuff going on, guys. If you want to support these causes, go to the BungieFoundation.org webpage and check them out. If you've got some money you want to donate, you can do it there. As always, it seems like Bungie is putting a lot of support through the Bungie Foundation right now, and I think I can get behind that. Don't you?
Yeah, I think so. And I would totally take that last word that is in that picture.
Oh, I know. It looks pretty cool,
that looks
right?
nice. That looks very nice.
I am down with that. These guys wearing kilts have some Destiny gear on. One of them's got a Titan hammer that I wouldn't mind seeing.
I love the Photoshop.
That looks pretty
ghost.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Photoshop ghost. He's holding up his hand and there's a nice little ghost floating there. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Good stuff, man. The Bungie Foundation. I love the subs they're doing on their Twitch and stuff like that. That's cool,
dude.
man.
And the it's constant. Like I couldn't believe how many people.
Yeah, because it pops up in our hosted chat, you know, and it's just like wow.
And it's just constantly running, and it's just in between every sentence, it's like blah blah sub to blah blah blah. And it's kind of funny because I'll see people I know and be like, oh yeah, I know them. Oh, okay, cool. Seeing all these guys in a sub and some of the big content creators sub, it was pretty funny. But yeah, no, they're killing it. So I was just sitting there like watching all these people sub, and I'm like, man, they're really raising a lot of money with this. So that's pretty cool.
Great stuff, dude.
I think you had mentioned there was a couple, or maybe one thing we mentioned or forgot to mention last week from the stream,
remember we
right?
even said with Joe, we're like, we covered so much. I think we covered everything, and then we backed up a little bit, knowing we probably missed something, and we did.
And we missed this one thing.
Basically, now when the update drops Tuesday, we can have a no HUD option, man. And it had different layers of it, like high. I think there was 4 though. There was different
transparencies, right? And then the final option was just no HUD at all.
That's cool, man.
This is awesome mostly for those who just either you want to take some awesome pictures of what's going on in Destiny or of your Guardian, or if you're a content creator, you want to do machinima style stuff. Even I can see like some montage clips like put together with this.
Just capturing.
You had mentioned like, hey, I want to play some sweaties with no HUD. Like, I want to see what this is going to be like. I didn't even think about that, but that sounds like a lot of fun.
See what you can do from the hip and with no reticle.
Yep.
Even just grabbing the environment, for different short clips and some content creation, like just painting it. Like it's cool, man. It's really cool they did that. They actually, I think, very specifically, they called out Fran Mirabella from Fireteam Chat, because I think he mentions that quite a bit, that there should be a no HUD option. But cool stuff, man. Very cool. I like that they respond to us on stuff like that and throw it in the game for what the community's asking for.
Definitely, it's definitely great seeing some things come in that have been requested. So. Also this week we got a couple things digitally. They threw up some.
I'm just kidding.
There's okay. Don't even.
Sorry, man.
You're poking the wrong bear,
man.
dude.
We're talking about Trials gear first.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. They sent out some pictures of the upcoming Trials gear.
It's
looks
interesting.
very, very similar. But we've got a blue accent color. So we've got that going for us, which is nice.
Blue's weird, man. Like it's more of like a teal. I like.
Yeah, a teal is more accurate.
I like the little wristbands like everybody has. Those are kind of cool.
Yeah, there's the wristbandy thing.
The blue's just I love the goldish black, like it's just the blue's just definitely different.
But let's be honest here. Is that all they got? I mean, come on, guys. You couldn't throw us some new armor.
Something, right?
Let's move on. So I got the first sting of the PlayStation.
They just keep it going, man.
And just when I thought it was, covered, we heard about some in the stream, and that really kind of chapped my butt. No, there's more. But wait,
it's basically every layer of it again, isn't it? Pretty much. We already mentioned the exotic sniper rifle, so.
Did we mention that
last week? Yep, because PlayStation tweeted that out.
Well, now this week we get to see what the perks are. So we've got, and this is called the Zen Meteor, and the perks are Dynamite, which is grants explosive rounds, rapid kills with every round in the clip, load an extra higher damage round for 5 seconds. They got a GIF attached to this, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, scope looks awesome.
I'm not going to get upset. I promise I'm not going to get upset. The other perk is with a laser beam. The extra round from Dynamite causes a massive explosion.
Do you see the animation on the gun after he shoots it? Flames coming out of the
barrel. I see it.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
It's great. There's a exclusive Sparrow called Velumbra.
It kind of looks Trials-ish.
Apparently you
got the blue.
Yes, but I think it's supposed to be Reef related because it's got a quote from Petrovenge. I'm not really sure, but it's like blue, gold, and white. So yeah, but I don't really care about a Sparrow. You know what? I can live without that one.
What's next?
There's a quest And here's where I really get salty. There's some beautiful Warlock armor. This is a Warlock helmet that actually has a hood on it. It looks really cool. I like the armband. There is some Hunter armor that people brought up. Kind of looks like Han Solo's outfit. I don't know if you see the resemblance there.
I could see it.
And then here's the coolest. Titan armor, Jovian guard. You get the huge shoulder thing that Zavala has. This is awesome.
It's cool, man. Like I've never been a big fan of like these massive, like I don't even care for really the trials shoulders. Yeah. But I mean this is totally different. It's kind of cool. I like the rest of it. I'm gonna have to try to decide.
The helmet looks really
helmet
cool.
Looks awesome. It's got the
and I'm kind of interested. This is Jovian, like so. The Jovians are basically I think they're the moons of Jupiter, or the areas around Jupiter. So like this is one of the first mentions of any gear that has the word Jovian in it. So from a lore perspective, that's kind of interesting.
Nice, dude. Keep the lore in it, man. Keep the lore.
Yeah, baby. What were you gonna say? What else did you?
Well, I like the we were talking about the helmet, the little kind of like the LED lights that are shooting out of the
it's
left
got like
eye
a little
part of the helmet.
Thingy on it.
It's pretty cool,
pretty
man.
cool.
I'm not gonna complain about that Titan armor.
Hey, I wonder if this would match Twilight Garrison.
Oh, that is a good observation, dude. I think it may be exactly the same, man. That's pretty cool. I'm excited.
But hey, that's PS4 exclusive, so all you PS4 boys get to match your Twilight Garrison while everybody else gets to...
Don't have to use that Chatterwhite.
Not. Can we change topic? Because I'm getting upset.
Let's change it, man. Let's change it. We won't.
Let's change into a much better topic. Let's lead up to our main topic, which we are super excited to welcome a very special guest. So let's jump right in here and take a listen with this interview with Mr. MTashed.
All right, Derp listeners, we are here with a very special guest. You may have heard of him throughout the Destiny community, very possibly. He's a streamer, YouTube content creator. He's got things like Crucible School and Tips with Tash. We're very excited to welcome Mr. MTashed to the show, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going really well. I'm very full. I just had dinner with my girlfriend, and now I'm on the podcast with you guys, so...
Might fall asleep.
Yeah, we'll see how I'm doing in about a couple minutes here. But
all right, we're gonna get you warmed up and amped up then here.
Sounds good.
Wake you up a little bit. So we always ask our guests to come on and tell us a little bit about yourself for those who may not know you, and try to get to know you a little bit better. So tell us about yourself, MTashed, and how you got into playing Destiny, man.
So I am a 24-year-old Canadian. I'm a young father. I had a little boy when I was in high school, in grade 12. So I'm a young dad. Wow. I'm immature in most situations until it comes to dealing with my son and, providing for my family. Then I pick up the slack. But in most conversation and in most social situations, I'm a very hyper guy. But if you're wondering how did I get into Destiny, it's because I wanted to be a Halo pro back in the day. I loved Halo 3. Nice. Oh my god. I can't even imagine how many hours I played of Halo 3 on the old Xbox 360. And then when I heard that Bungie was coming out with a new game with like loot and roaming and raids and all this stuff, I wanted to jump right into Destiny.
Great, man.
Yeah.
Very
awesome.
It's good stuff. Yeah. I think Destiny's done that to a lot of us, I think, man. But
no doubt.
You're quite the PvP player, so you're a little bit ahead of some of us.
Thank you.
We got some real quick questions from our community. Our good buddy Tripoly D, we got to ask you right off the top. He wants to know what your favorite NHL team is and your favorite NHL player of all time, because we know you play hockey, right?
That's a good one. My favorite team probably is the Edmonton Oilers because they're my hometown team. But I always, when I was a kid, I used to love the Colorado Avalanche because I loved Joe Sakic. I thought he was such a beauty. He played exactly the way I did. He had a deadly wrist shot. He could dangle. So I like Joe Sakic, but I think my all-time favorite, for whatever reason, is Paul Kariya. He was a tiny little guy. He was super fast and kind of reminded me of me. So those are the teams and the players, I guess.
That works. There you go, Paulie. You answered it very quickly, straight up.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm from the south of the United States, and all these words and names mean nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just smiling and nodding. That's
Smile and wave, boys. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I can tell you, hockey for us here, St. Louis Blues fan, hockey is such a cool sport to watch in person, dude. Like it's very cool to actually go and watch those guys just slam each other into that glass.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So we have another, this one I think was an actual email, part of an email from Mr. Todd Fitwell. He asks, so with the new spring fashions, do you think you will still be wearing tank tops almost exclusively? And he also wants to know, what chroma are you going to rock?
Is this because in every picture I post on Instagram and social media, I have a tank top on? And actually, when I stream too, I stream a lot and I have them on. It's because I get so warm when I'm playing games, so I will always wear just like a tank top to keep cool. And I'm working out, so I want to show off the muscles, you know.
Nice.
There you go, bro.
So I might still wear them almost exclusively. We'll see how the summer goes. As for my chroma, it depends on so many things. The shader you're wearing, the armor piece.
Yeah.
I personally have always liked a little touch of red in things, but I mean, I saw some of the blue ones and they looked so good. So it'll really depend.
Yeah, the blue looks good.
Yeah, we can relate with you on the getting hot where you're playing video games. Every time we get done with the podcast, I think when we hit stop recording, we both go, dude, it is so hot in my room right now.
Oh, yeah. I might need to take a cue from you and pull out some tank tops.
You should, honestly. It's beautiful.
This might become a thing. Like, Destiny content creators unite, wear tank tops.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, how about favorite class and weapon? We've always got asked that, man.
My favorite class is, I'm going to say Striker Titan.
Nice.
Not because I'm the best at it. I think I'm most likely Night Stalker is my best class if you're looking at overall performance. But I think Striker Titan's the funnest because skating, even though I'm really bad at it, I think skating is really fun. It's really mobile. I really enjoy Shoulder Charge because it's trolly and fun. And then the super is unbelievably good for countering other supers or in any panic situation. The Fist of Havoc, the Fist of Panic, it is. I love it. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
As for weapon, though, No Land Beyond. Oh, God, it's so nice to use. Love it.
We'll mention that, but you said you're going to exclusively use that in the Bungie bounty, didn't you?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it one-hit kills off the revive. So with the changes, and I mean, we don't know for sure, but if it does one hit off the revive, I'm using it for sure.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. At Matty Misfit tweeted, he wants to know which year one legendary being brought back do you want to try first? And also, which exotic?
Ooh, it's a tough one. I would say for the legendary, it'll be like longbow synthesis or whatever, the
Longbow's
sniper,
a popular one.
or LDR. Yeah. I mean, either works. Honestly, the best sniper I can get my hands on, I'll be using. Doesn't matter the name, but I'm gonna try to get a longbow because I actually never had a longbow. I never got one to drop, not even once in the whole career of Destiny. So I want to try out the longbow for a bit. As for exotic,
nice.
I don't know. I don't even know any of the year ones that are now coming forward. I think Lucky Raspberry is coming. So if I ever play Blade Dancer, that one might be fun because I've never gotten a Lucky Raspberry either. So I wouldn't mind trying that one out.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. It's
that
just
thing used to drop like crazy. I
have some of the best RNG in the game. I got the Vex Mythoclast the very first time we did the raid. I was one of the first people to have it, I'm going to guess. And no one else got one for like 5 or 6 past that. And so I've had really good luck there. I got Yalahorn very, very early. I got some, I think on the second or third day we played, I got Patience and Time, which at the time was a really good sniper. And so I've had some good luck, but certain ones, like the Twilight Garrison, I can't get them. I just cannot get them. So.
Yeah, well, this week's the week to try.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Get the exotic engram this week.
Pop those engrams, man.
Well, what about the real question is Fatebringer? How long did it take you to get Fatebringer?
Do you know what? I don't remember. I think I got it pretty soon. I didn't even realize how good it was. So
that one's
sure.
the one.
But actually, Praetus and Praetus Revenge? Is that the sniper?
Yes.
That was the one I had to grind for. I tried forever to get that sniper. KJ Hovey was like, "Oh, it's so good, you have to get it," and I couldn't get one. I just couldn't get it.
I've still got my Praetus, man. I love that gun. It's so good.
It's beautiful.
Well, we've got to mention, man. We can't chat with you without mentioning the fun exchange that you and your friend Real Crafty have.
Right.
You got to elaborate on that a bit for us in the Derp Fam, man.
So every time we stream, well, I mean, it's kind of between a whole bunch of people like Hovey, Crafty, myself. Every time we stream, we get people coming in and saying, "Are you better than Crafty? Are you better than Hovey? Are you better than this guy?" Like it's relentless. And we always say, all three of us, we always say, no, we're not. But for whatever reason, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks in a row, Crafty and I kept playing Trials against each other. And it would just happen when we were streaming both at the same time. And so people would come into our chats and be freaking out, and everyone's going ballistic thinking, "Oh my God, this is the battle of the century." And we're just kind of like, well, I guess. Like, it's not that impressive or not that cool. And so the first time we played, I ended up beating him, and a bunch of people were talking about that and saying, "Oh my God, MTashed is better than Real Crafty." And then the next time we played, Real Crafty beat me, and then he beat me again. And so I started making the joke that, oh, well, the only way he's beating me is through hacking, you know, DDoSing me and cheating. And so then I finally made the video with some of the footage I had, the first Real Crafty exposed video, and everyone loved it, and they started sharing it. And so I figured I'd keep it going. But I'm gonna taper off on them because some people don't recognize what, you know, sarcasm and a joke is, and also I don't want them to get stale. I want it to be fresh the next time one comes out. So,
well, whenever you do the little freeze frame of some of his facial expressions, or say you're reading great. His lips, it's pretty priceless.
Thank you.
So, man, you've probably had a pretty great week because you got just called out in the Twitch stream,
right at
the
the
Bungie
top.
Reveal stream this week.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Pretty exciting.
Very, very exciting. I've never done a Bungie bounty. I've never been a community spotlight or anything like that with Destiny. So it was pretty cool to, hear them say that on the stream and directly say, this guy, came to us with some concerns. We have now, I mean, they didn't take all of my suggestions for the revive changes or anything like that. I mean, some of them are quite different than what I suggested, but they worked on some things that I felt were broken with revives that it was really taking away from the game. And so I sent them an email, I sent them a video, and I just said, look at some of this footage, look at how uncompetitive these situations are. And they just said, yeah, you know what, we've noticed it too. We're going to look at it. We're going to really dive into revives and see what we can do to make it more balanced. So the fact that they gave me the shout out and said, you are part of this, it actually meant a lot to me. So
you have no idea at all that they were going to do that?
No, I didn't know when or where or how. So the fact that they made a lot of those changes, I was like, holy, wow. You guys work fast, because I only sent that maybe a month ago. So
very cool. Great. Well, how appropriate that we're having you on the show this week. We can jump right into it. We're gonna break down the entire Sandbox and Crucible stream preview. Actually, right at the top, I think Deej, he said overall for this April update, he said one of the goals is to make Destiny a more rewarding game. So that's always a good thing to hear. And we'll get into the Crucible rewards, but we're going to start right at the top with what you were just talking about, man, the res changes. So just real briefly here, they basically said have to be closer to res. It's going to take a little longer. You're going to get an overshield basically on both sides is going to be less powerful. And fast revive exotics can't revive while sprinting. And in trials, and you guys have to correct me on this if I'm wrong. Trials, they added 2 seconds to the revive timer. Mm-hmm. So what do you think, man? What do you think about all that?
I think it's great. I think they hit a lot of the points that needed to be done. So with the overshield, there was a lot of damage that just didn't matter. If you had a primary out, you're trying to pulse rifle a guy, last word him, a lot of occasions, it just didn't matter. You might as well have never shot him and saved your ammo because the overshield blocks so much damage. And there were a lot of situations where people were getting these revives, getting these overshields, and unless you had a sniper pointed at their face or a shotgun point blank or a super, there was no way to at least even the score. You know, it was just, it was once that revive was initiated, it was over. They got the revive off. There's nothing you can do about it unless you were prepared and ready for it. With the sprinting through and the fast revive gear, there were situations where people weren't even engaging in gunfights because they know I can run in, get that revive in 0.5 seconds, and we can now push you together with shields. And so I like a lot of the changes that they're making here. I like that they're removing the overshields, they're stopping how quickly you can revive, and even just the little timer addition. If you die twice in a round, there's now 14 seconds before you're even an option to revive again. That opens up doors for counterplay. It opens up doors for, just making the trials a little bit more exciting instead of spamming revives the whole time.
No, for sure, yeah. Well, actually, very specifically on the res sniping, Big Daddy Davis, our buddy Davis, he asks, he wants to know if res sniping was discussed between you and Bungie, some of the specific things you said, which you had mentioned kind of before, but also them's tattoos basically kind of pointed out that any sniper over 42 impact can res snipe now. Does that sound right?
I'm not sure exactly the numbers on it, but
he's pretty spot on with that stuff. So
cool.
I mean, basically, we're gonna go from how many snipers do we have right now that can do it?
Like three, maybe three.
Yeah, like three. Yeah.
To who knows how many now?
Yeah, I gotta go look at the list.
At least double.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Yasmin. I think will be part of it.
Oh, thank goodness.
I think one other, and I like Yasmin a lot. It's gonna rule out my glass promontory, unfortunately, but. If I can rock Yasmin, I'll be happy with that. And we're going to have, LDR come back and Longbow. And what's the new one called? Her Mercy? Is it Her Mercy or what was the name?
Her Fury
of it?
or Her Mercy? I'm not sure.
I think it might have been Her Fury. But no, we're going to have a lot more options. And I'm pumped about that. I mean, are you guys excited about all the different options we're going to have here?
I do. I like the changes. It's pretty exciting. With the guy asking me if I talked to Bungie about it, I didn't really discuss it directly with them. The only comment I made in the revive video and everything was people should never be rewarded for bringing someone back into the game. And yeah, I can res snipe you, I can kill you the second you're up, but why would it be fair that you can bring someone back in the game and there's nothing I can do about it for 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds with immunity frames, with a shield? If you're bringing someone back up, I want to be able to put him down the second he's up, before he can cause drama somewhere else or use a super or something like that. So I think it's fair, and the fact that there's now more options, I like it. I like the dynamic. Revives should be risky, and now that you can have different loadouts with different snipers and stuff like that, I think there's more ways to counter it, which is cool. Even some shotguns now. There might be some new doors for like a high rate of fire shotgun that can pump someone on the revive and then get the guy that was doing the revives, stuff like that. So
right,
it's gonna be cool.
And I can agree with this. I could pull up a clip of a round in Trials, and I think it was on I can't remember the map, but there are literally so many revives on my team, and on their team, and I was the last one standing. I don't even know how, but it was so ridiculous. It was funny to go back and watch because it was such a freaking cluster of revives. And I was like, is this how this game is supposed to be played? Like, it literally turned into a duel of revives. Like, this isn't fun. It was funny, but it didn't involve any skill. It was just a bunch of people running around with fast res, getting shields, killing each other, reviving the guy, round and round and round until one person was left. I was like, that's not this game.
Yeah, and they kind of said they wanted it to be revives. Now the goal was to be more of a risk versus reward thing. So I hope it makes it a little bit more fun and competitive. You've kind of touched on it a little bit, MTashed, but if they could take res sniping out of the game, it doesn't sound like you would want that. You're fine with res sniping.
Oh yeah. I would probably quit if they removed that.
Yeah. I was not a fan of res sniping. I still am on the fence about it because just the fact that you can't move your character really before you can die. But now that I've gotten better at res sniping myself, it's a little less annoying knowing that I can at least do it on my side.
For sure. I guess it's the...
Well, here's the thing as well.
Yeah, go Cyborg. Yeah.
With this change, there's going to be less res.
Right.
So there's going to be, in turn, less res sniping. People are not going to be able to farm supers as well. I mean, I've played with people on my team who would basically res snipe farm. Like, he would kill somebody 5 times in a row because they were stupid enough to keep resing them, and then just go clear them out with their super. That's going to eliminate some of this stuff because of the length of time it's going to take in between reses, and I think that's going to be a good change. Even though I hate getting res sniped myself,
And I understand it. My only argument, this is the one I always use, is I understand that it probably feels horrendous to have your teammate revive you. You're standing there, you get picked off, you're instantly dead again. It's not a very rewarding feeling. It feels terrible. But I can only imagine how much worse it would feel to be standing there going 1v3 against a couple players. You kill one of them, you kill 2 of them, and then his buddy stands there on a body, gets the revive, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no counterplay to it. I can only imagine how many people would lose these engagements where they can't revive snipe or they can't do anything about it, and now they have to be outnumbered once again after they've already tried their hardest to kind of fight back. That to me is a very unrewarding experience. It doesn't reward high-skilled play or, even a risky aggressive snipe. If there's a guy going for the revive 2 feet from you, but you say, no, I'm going to commit to this snipe and get the kill, I think you deserve it, But
yeah,
well, I think this ties into an argument that I've heard you make in some of your videos, where there's a lot of things in this game that can be frustrating.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of things that people will call broken. But what makes this game unique is a lot of those things, there do exist counters to those things. And it's a game where we have magical superpowers.
Yeah.
And so in order to fulfill that power fantasy, we have to be enabled to do ridiculous things and use those superpowers to do ridiculous things. So this isn't Halo. It's not a perfectly balanced shooter where we run on the map and pick up weapons. Like, it is a game where we have superpowers, and sometimes it really sucks to be on the other end of that superpower, right? So going back to what we're talking about, like, yeah, getting revive snipe sucks, but it also empowers players to do things like you're talking about, like a 1v3, where you can control the engagements if you're skilled enough. And I think that that's a good thing to keep in mind when we look at things like this in the game, mechanics like this in the game.
Yeah, Tet2 always had a good argument with me when we would go back and forth. He would always say, you put yourself in that position, to not be able to be easily rezzed by your team, and you jumped out in that sniper lane, so that's semi kind of your punishment.
Don't peek again.
Right? Yeah. Yep. Good stuff.
You got any other thoughts on this, MTashed?
No, not too much. I think we've covered some of the main points. We could argue little things here and there for forever. But
yeah, we could.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think we got it.
Let's move into ammo. We've got some changes as special. They have reverse course on special ammo, and what once was has returned. You will spawn with special ammo in your inventory again. However, it's not going to come around as often anymore, right?
Right.
It's going to come in at the 3-minute mark, which, geez, I mean, in a trials round, that feels like ages. I don't know about you guys. And then 2 minutes after that, and the amount of inventory of special we can carry has decreased. That, I think, right there is also going to affect the revive snipe game.
Right. Yeah, you're going to run out of ammo soon.
You're going to have to really question if you want to take that shot, right? So, I don't know. What thoughts on this, guys? I mean, we're kind of reversing the meta here. It's changed. We all adjusted, and now it's kind of going back.
Yeah, go for it, MTashed.
I guess it will really depend if they implement that exact change for trials as well, or if it'll still be on a similar timer. Because if it does, then, I mean, it's obviously going to change the dynamic of everything. I think in regular Crucible modes, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Like, there's definitely the 3-minute timer before you can get any more. I think depending on how you play, you might run out of special, but you're going to get quite a bit over the course of a game. It's not going to be as rampant maybe with this change, which is definitely cool. With trials, though, I mean, if it was on the 3-minute timer, you've got 1 or 2 rounds where you can use your sniper or shotgun, so you better pick it. You better pick it wisely, which could be a very cool competitive dynamic. You're going to see a lot more primary and grenade battles and team shotting, which could be very, very fun. A nice little change.
Or No Land Beyond.
Yeah.
No Land Beyond, yeah.
Or No Land Beyond. We're like, screw it. Let's just get the primary sniper and go around all this.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is crazy to compare this to threes, or more specifically trials versus the other game modes. Because, I mean, it's, a lot of the PvP community just hones in on what it's going to do to trials. There's a lot of Sixes fans out there, but like heavy ammo, it's only going to spawn once at the 5-minute mark. So, it's not changing trials. So it's still going to come in at that 3rd round. So nothing crazy there for trials anyways.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting behind this change with heavy.
In the larger game modes for sure, right?
Yeah. See, even if this is going to be in skirmish, like the amount of times that somebody can die, like if they do it once in a match and dominate both sides of heavy, and they go on a spree with machine guns, like you can lose a match based off that.
Yeah.
So just reducing that down to 1 time per match and reducing the amount of inventory you can get, I can live with that, because a lot of people argue like they don't even want heavy in the Crucible. But I've always been of the attitude like, well, we have heavy weapons and it is part of the game and it can be fun. I just don't want it to dominate the entire match. So I think they've made a good decision with how they're going to adjust this.
I agree. I think Iron Banner is going to be a little bit more fun now, for sure.
Yeah, it will be.
Yep.
That will definitely change Iron Banner up. I didn't even think about that control.
I think the thing that makes me happiest about the heavy ammo change is I used to play League of Legends quite extensively. Like I played up until Diamond 1, which at the time when I played, that was the highest you could get. And so like I played very competitively, and one of the things that happens in that game is called snowballing, which one team gets a kill or 2 or 3, and then all of a sudden they've got a bunch of gold. And they can use that gold to buy better gear, and then they're even more powerful. Then they come into lane again and they kill you again. And what happens is it gets to the point where you cannot win the game. In most situations, you have to almost surrender because they are so powerful. They've snowballed to the point where you are zoned from everything. You can't fight them. You can't engage on them. And in a game like this, obviously, that doesn't really happen. You can't go change your loadout and get a whole bunch of better gear that makes you dominant. But orb generation, super generation, what happens when you have a team that gets both heavies, 2 times in one game, is it gets to the point where you're going to start slaughtering them 20,000 points to 3,000. And yeah, there's the mercy rule, but with the extra heavy on the map, and the fact that everyone on the team can get it, it leads to some situations where it's almost uncounterable and it's anti-fun. There's nothing you can really do about it. So the fact that it's only coming up once, I like that they're removing those opportunities where the game is uncounterably fun. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to lose no matter how good you play. So it's exciting. I like that they're making it a little bit more fair.
It really feels like I felt like after the stream I watched it a second time, and they really feel like they're at the point where they're fine tuning it. Like there's obviously always going to be this thing, but it's just they're making subtle changes. It's not this drastic stuff back and forth. It doesn't seem like. So real quick, we can gloss over Crucible Rewards. Basically across the board, they're increasing legendary drops. Trials, we're going to be able to get 335 armor and weapons and armor, I guess I should say. We couldn't get armor before at the chest at the lighthouse. And bounties can drop up to 330, and one bounty will be repeatable. And I think, was this the gold tier bounty that could be repeated over and over again throughout the weekend? I'm pretty certain that's what it was.
I want to say, yeah.
I kind of missed if he specified. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he said the name of the bounty.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
That'd be a really cool way to farm.
I think the way he worded it, it's probably the gold tier one because you have to play the 10 games or whatever. And he said if you love Trials and that's all you play all weekend, you can benefit from this. So I'm guessing that's the one.
That's a good point.
It's tough to say.
Yeah. Well, that's nice, though. I mean, I've always said that game mode is so fun. I'll run the same character over and over again and not even swap characters. It's just fun. Like, I don't need any rewards. It's such a blast to play.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to have that bounty, at least to get something. But Iron Banner, you'll now get IB gear instead of legendary engrams at the end of activity rewards screen. So they want to really push out
Thank
the
God.
Iron Banner stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
they've needed to improve those big times.
Right. Yeah. Like give us the Iron Banner gear, not the random legendaries. So rank 3 will drop at 320. Artifact or Ghost, and rank 5 will drop at 335. So,
or up to 335.
Up to, sorry,
right?
yes, up to 335. I'm assuming depending on the light that you're at, right?
I guess,
or maybe not. It could, yeah, it's probably just RNG, right? So,
yeah.
What do you think, MTashed, about? I mean, they've been pretty blunt about, hey guys, you can do all of these things now to try to hit max level. I mean, it's the right direction, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, and we don't know exactly what the rewards are going to be and how often you get them from Prison of Elders. But the fact that there's a PvE option, there's a slightly more competitive option in Trials. You can play Iron Banner. There's a lot of ways to do it. I just hope that they're very... just because PvE, I feel like, has been kind of on the back burner, I hope that the Prison of Elder rewards are really good and people can get geared up, and if they like the PvE content, they can dive in and get to 335, and they don't have to play Trials and Iron Banner. Because I feel sorry for the players that don't like to play PvP, and they're forced to play it to get gear and stuff like that, and to max out, and it's not really fair to those players. So I'm just hoping that it's kind of an even road no matter which way you go, and if you want to grind your way up to 335, you can do it. So
yeah,
for sure, man.
They've definitely broadened, for sure. I mean, it's almost every in-game activity you can get this stuff. So I really like the way they've taken this. It seems like they're like, all right, guys, we're going to give you like as much as we can give you without just making this game, pointless,
right.
to keep you happy for the short period in between now and the next thing that we have coming. So, I appreciate what they're doing.
Give us more rewards, loot. We won't complain.
Give me the goodies, baby. So let's kind of go through some of these gun changes. It's not a lot of major stuff, but it's a couple things worth mentioning. I'm particularly excited about the auto rifle change. I called this. If you were in the party before they released the stream, I said, high rate of fire, auto rifles are coming down, high impact are coming up. I was right. No, I did not know about this ahead of time, but I'm happy that I'm right because of my baby, the Shadow Price.
Oh, yes.
That was my favorite year 1 legendary. I carried that thing through the vault all the way into Crota's Inn. Like, that was my baby, so I'm excited for this gun to come back.
Yeah, we can.
What do you guys think about these auto rifle changes?
Well, specifically, too, we might as well mention that Suros on stream, man. It looked pretty powerful.
Yeah, it looked great.
It did with the really focus fire. Yep.
Yeah, what do you think, MTashed? I mean, do you are you an auto rifle guy? What do you other than your sniper? Right. What do you like to use?
When I first started, I used auto rifles, but I moved away from them as I realized that hand cannons were broken. But now that those have been nerfed quite a bit, I was a big fan of pulses for quite a while. I think if I had to go with like a legendary, it would be a pulse rifle over anything else. But for the most part, Last Word is still, even with the nerfs that they're putting onto it, Last Word is just so good in a lot of situations that I think it'll dominate. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it'll keep dominating.
Yeah, it'll keep dominating. But I think if they're balancing everything, it's going to still open up some doors. Hand cannons still, I think, are in a tough place unless you're using Hawkmoon or Last Word. Or Thorn, which we don't know how powerful Thorn is going to be. I think it's gonna be not used as much now because it's just not as deadly. I don't know if you can 3-tap someone in the body. That was the reason why it was used, is because it was easy to get a 3-hit body and then just run away and you didn't have to worry about it. But we'll see.
Right.
I think.
Well, they've reduced the damage basically to the lowest it could be. Yeah. And then the pulse is shorter too, so I'm really interested to experiment with it and see what it takes.
Yeah, it won't jar your screen as much either with the effects. So
I don't. It's not going to be as much of a crutch for people I mean, and I hate to put it that way. Like, I'm not trying to say everybody that used it was a noob or a scrub, you know? But there was a lot of players that just weren't high skilled, but could really come after you with that gun because it was very powerful, you know? So I'm definitely pro Nerf Thorn.
Exactly. I wanted to ask you too, MTashed, hand cannons. You kind of mentioned it there. What are they doing with hand cannons? Just giving us more ammo in the inventory. I mean, other than, like you said, the very few, no one seems to be using hand cannons, and they didn't change really anything.
I think there's just like some phantom bullets going on with hand cannons. They just don't feel good. There's something missing there that they used to do great at long ranges. You could, if you aimed at someone's head, you pulled the trigger at a distance and your aim was true, you knew what you were doing, you'd get a headshot. But now there's a lot of shots where it's like, really? That didn't count, or that missed, or that was a body shot. It feels clunky to use. And pulse rifles, for the most part, like any of the pulse rifles, really, other than the low rate of fire ones right now, are still pretty darn good. Even like something like the Doctrine of Passing is way better than any of the hand cannons. So I think they're just in a place right now that they need a buff. Even though they just nerfed them, I think they nerfed them too hard. They could have brought it back just a little bit, but they missed the mark, I think, with hand cannons.
Before we touch on your favorite weapon type, real quick, fusions. Our buddy Joe, he's on our admin team. He's a fusion beast. He'll use blue fusion rifles against you in sweats whenever we play.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
He's basically wanting to know where they're going to be at this point. What do you think is going to happen after this with the blanket stability increase?
Watching the stream, I saw a couple connect that were beautiful. Like it looked very, very pleasing. I think the fusion rifle is in a better place. The hit registration seems a bit better. It's tough to say. Fusion rifles are always going to be harder to use because you need to anticipate a player. You need to commit a whole bunch of time to charging up your gun. If you miss, you now have to charge up again. They're not an optimal competitive weapon, but I think if you get practice with it, if you use it, and now that they're buffing them, I think if you get a well-rolled one, they're going to be fantastic. They're not going to be start of the game Destiny good, but I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I might use it with my No Land Beyond instead of a sidearm now. I probably would use a fusion rifle more than a shotgun just because I do like to sit back a little bit. So I think they're going to be in a good spot.
Yes, I think Susanu is going to be a beast.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait to try it.
We talked about that one's gonna be nice.
That Thiessen, man, I'm going to be running from those.
Yeah, you know it.
From those guys that are good with them. I mean, I've never gotten phenomenal with a fusion rifle, but I know a couple of people that really, really are. And it just seems like you're saying, it's a weapon you have to practice. It's a mindset. It's a way you have to play with it to be aggressive with that gun. But the guys that get it and know how to use it are just as scary as any shotgunner, in my opinion. Because they don't have to get in your face. Like, they don't have to put it in your gut, but they'll do the same thing.
Yeah, and you just assume they're going to have to shoot you a couple times, and then but when it's too late, you realize, oh, yeah, they had a fusion rifle.
Yeah, exactly.
They were close enough to kill me.
Yep.
Well, let's talk snipers.
Okay.
Let's get into this, okay?
Let's do it.
So I'm shedding many single tears over the loss of my short gaze.
Yes.
What about you guys?
I think
this is it's going to be an adjustment.
I get it to an extent. I think that all the people in the community complaining about snipers got them nerfed, and especially the 1,000-yard stare. The 1,000-yard stare wasn't nerfed because it was a godly gun. It was nerfed because it was the only high-impact legendary sniper in the game. The reason it was used so much is because it was the only option. So I think the reasons they nerfed these things weren't the best ones. They're arguing that people were using them up close and personal. Only the best snipers in the game were able to do that, and that's because they put in ample amounts of time to practice. The amount of people that are being affected by this, kind of the zoom, increased zoom, it's mostly the high tier people that really love to snipe, and the people that do sit in the back and they kind of hard scope lanes, they don't really get affected by this at all. So it's almost like they nerfed the people that weren't the issue. I don't know how to
Yeah,
I don't want to be a dick. I don't
interesting
want to say this the wrong way, but the issue was everyone was sniping because it was, I mean, with aim assist, it's very easy to snipe in Destiny. I'm not even going to lie. But a lot of the issue was snipers were just camping lanes and hard scoping lanes, but if you pushed in on them...
But that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with this. You know? Those people are at a good distance. They're using a sniper kind of how you should use it. But the people that were aggressive snipers, someone like a real Crafty, they're now being punished because of how many people were sniping using kind of the crutch of the high aim assist and the distance and how safe it was. The snapshot change also kind of sucks because in panic situations, a sniper isn't going to be useful. And I don't know. I don't think the nerf is going to kill snipers by any means. The people that like to snipe, they're going to adjust very quickly. It's not like they completely doubled the distance or anything like that. Everyone will adjust, but I just feel like if they could have nerfed other areas like the amount of ammo or just some of the stability, things like that to make it a little bit harder, I think a lot more people would be happy on both ends of the spectrum. So, yeah. Right.
Yeah, we probably, you pretty much hit on these questions already. At Fistlike asked how big of a hit do you think they're really taking, and Tattoo asked if you think it'll slow down sniper play in general. But you think, I mean, as far as those players that are going to get affected, they're going to adjust. They're gonna make it work.
I think so. And the people that have been sniping at a distance already in hard scoping lanes, nothing has really changed for them. It's still going to feel almost identical. So I don't think sniping is going to be more hard scoping. I think it's going to be probably the same. You're just going to see less aggressive snipers because they can't do it anymore as effectively, unfortunately.
Right.
So I really don't think everyone's going to have a really negative experience with a bunch of hard scopers now. It's going to feel pretty much the same, I'm going to guess.
This is the theme because you pretty much said this. No Land Beyond. Right? Yeah, that seems to be it's going to be your go-to.
I honestly think it's going to be one of the best guns in the game. It sounds silly,
one of your
your
videos that you said pretty much like it's unaffected, and
you have an advantage now in close range snipe battles. You have, I don't know, it seems like the one to be using because sidearms are so strong. You can outduel a last word with sidearms, and I mean if shotgun guys pushing in on you, you can at least trade with him in a lot of occasions. So the fact that you now have a sniper that's got a pretty decent field of view, like I know the scope is a little bit annoying to look through, but if you look at kind of mid-range engagements and you practice with the No Land Beyond, that thing is crisp. It has got some good aim assist. It's fantastic. As long as you practice the reload glitch and things like that, I would say No Land Beyond will be my new go-to sniper because I would rather get rid of the 1,000-yard stare for a sidearm or something like that. And if I'm going to be sniping, I might as well be using something I feel comfortable with and then have a backup, sidearm or shotgun or fusion rifle or whatever. So
I've been recently using the No Land quite a bit. It is a fun gun. It really is. Like it's and then when you start landing those shots, it just feels like you said crisp and just so nice. Yeah,
it really does. So let's talk about Mida for a minute, guys, because I've gotten to a point, embrace the meta. Got really stinking nasty with this Mida, and they're gonna turn around right as I get to that place and take away the signature perk. Now, I have mixed feelings on this because I definitely know how it feels to be on the other end of this, trying to pop ahead with my sniper rifle. They get you at just the right time, you miss your shot, and you die. So they've kind of taken away the secret or the not visible intrinsic perk that it had with the high caliber rounds. You guys have any comments on this?
Go for it, man.
I mean,
you use Mida much?
I do. I don't think it was like really broken. I understand that they've now taken away the high caliber rounds,
I don't think it was
but
either.
I don't think this breaks Mida. It's supposed to be for mobility.
Still good.
You're supposed to use it at a distance. For the most part, if you're using Mida properly, you shouldn't be engaging on someone who's hard scoping you with a sniper. That's not the role of the Mida. You're supposed to flank. You're supposed to pick people off. You're supposed to put pressure shots on from a distance. And engaging 1v1 with a Mida isn't what you were supposed to be doing anyways, for the most part. It loses duels to a ton of guns in this game. So you shouldn't, for the most part, be trying to go 1v1 against a bunch of people when using Mida. I don't think the nerf is a huge a huge problem. I don't think it needed to happen, but now that it did, I don't think people should really be running away or, putting their Midas away. It's still going to be a great gun. It's still fantastic.
Somebody brought up a really good point, though, is that perk in PvE really made that gun a beast.
Right, yeah, for sure.
And so that really sucks for PvE, because I have brought it out in PvE for that purpose before, and you love it because you can knock back these majors and these tough enemies that could really put a hurt on you. And so that kind of sucks for that.
Yeah, that's where Wisniewski talked about it on stream. It's cool, and it's a unique thing about Destiny that it's across all activities. That these things are the same for the most part. But right there, like you mentioned before, the PvE players that don't dabble in PvP at all, immediately getting affected by something like that, for sure. Yeah.
Yep. I want to talk about Icebreaker for a minute, because this used to be my bay.
You did use that thing, man.
Dude, I used it a ton before taking King Drop, when I got kind of good with it. You cannot use that anymore to get special ammo, since we cannot swap and retain our special ammo. I think that's a great modification there. But the handling came down, the zoom was increased. What this tells me, basically, they're trying to make it harder to drag scope at this thing, because that's what it's good for. Right. And increasing that zoom, bringing the handling down, so it's going to move slower.
Increasing the zoom
have
even
to use
more.
It at more range. yeah, because it's already got a lot. Cry single tier, because that's the end of this thing in PvP, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Still
no year 2.
So, yeah.
Yeah. What about Drake's Promise? That thing just says that the projectiles track now.
Does that look cool or what?
That thing on stream. What did you think about that, MTashed?
I never used the gun before, so it's going to be interesting to actually try it out, because I'm going to try and farm for one now and give it a go.
Yeah, I don't have one either. Yep.
It was utterly terrible.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
It was the worst.
We'll have to see how aggressive these projectiles track and actually test it out and see how it does. But it looks pretty fun.
If that's the only thing they changed, and you're just like analyzing the stream, but man, it looked like he was just ripping them apart with that thing.
Right. Yeah.
On stream. Yeah. We'll see.
It could be fun. That's the first thing I'm going to pull out of the vault. And I'll try it out for everybody and come back next week. Let
us know, man.
On the same note, Telesto looks like it could be pretty fun, because now we can tag our buddies and make them kamikazes.
Right.
So I'm seeing a future for popping those Titan bubbles. What do you guys think?
That'd be pretty fun. I think the Telesto is a troll weapon, no matter what. So, like, it's nice that they added this, but I don't think the AoE is big enough, and the time is large enough that you can really time play. Like, you have to be the most coordinated team ever and say, all right, load me up with Telestos and I'm diving in. Because you got like 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds before those things blow up. So you'd have to play it pretty well perfectly to make it work. But at least they're noticing that maybe some guy out there is the best Telesto player in the world, and he's going to take advantage of it, and at least it's working properly now.
Mm-hmm. Hey, all the guys that like to play fun police, this is going to be right up their alley. Yeah. You're going to see some fun stuff with this. And every once in a while, I pop that thing on and be like, you know what? I'm getting out Telesto. I'm going to mess with these dudes and just laying down Telesto stuff, making it rain. And people like don't know how to react to these things. It's kind of funny. So I'm looking forward to trolling a little bit in the Crucible, guys.
Yeah. You would, man.
I'm gonna bring this out in sweats.
Yeah, no. The last one we want to mention here is the 1,000-yard. They, on top of the sniper changes, they're even removing a couple bullets out of its inventory. So
yeah, well, I'm sick of that damn gun. So
yeah.
I don't see the point though, because now they're bringing LDR back in longbow. They're just gonna replace it, and no one will use 1,000-yard stare, and they'll use those two guns. Because
it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's just.
I think it's still going to get used. I think there's a lot of players that have gotten used to it that are probably going to hold on to it.
And if you have a god roll,
it's their baby.
It might perform better than any of the LDRs and longbows that you find. So, just because it has a couple less bullets at the start of the game, because that's the one it's gonna matter, is just at the very start of the game. Then maybe having two great perks on it, like snapshot and hidden hand or whatever you want it to be, is worth not having two bullets,
Right.
Yeah.
What's the old sniper? Totally leaving my brain right now that we used before this from Prison of Elders.
For benevolence.
Yes. Do you still?
Yeah.
I got to make sure I wasn't watching some of your older videos, but I thought I saw some footage of you still getting that gun out.
No, it's not. It's actually a supremacy from way back in the day with the Queen.
Yes.
Yeah, they look the same. I
It's
have
the
one of those
supremacy,
too.
and that thing is stupid. I think it's got one of the
Yeah.
most aim assists out of that impact range, and the roll on it, I literally never run out of ammo. Every 1 or 2 kills that I get like 2 ammo back, because it's kind of, I think it's performance bonus.
Got performance,
but it
bonus?
also has
Yeah.
the old version of critical. What's it called now? I can't think of it. Anyways, it's got there's the same perk now, but this is the old version. And what it does is on top of, so whenever you get a kill and you're low health, you gain ammo. And so every single engagement, for the most part, someone shoots me, and I don't know if it's bugged or what, but if I've taken any damage and then I now kill you with my sniper, I get 2 ammo. So in a lot of engagements,
Wow.
I gain ammo from performance bonus, and that one, sometimes I get 4 ammo. It's so stupid. And then
why
it has
you never
snapshot
run
on
out.
top of it. So yeah, it's a great little
Yeah.
gun for sweats.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
that's
that.
a good point. I'll have to pull out my supremacy for sweats, man. I have a sniper collection. Like, I don't delete my babies. You know, the good stuff. Praetus, supremacy.
Still
some of
got
those
'em
good
all,
ones. And I forget about them, man. I go dust off the vault, pull them
Yeah.
out. You know, have a good time. All right, MTashed, thanks for all the pointers this week,
Hey,
man.
no problem. No problem.
Right. How about this, Cyborg? We touched on all the guns. Now is the part that
Oh,
maybe a little painful for you, but not quite as bad as we thought.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I was, if you were talking to me, you knew I was really getting mentally prepared for what I was afraid they were going to do. MTash, I run Warlocks pretty much exclusively, so I was really afraid of this stream.
We've been waiting for it, waiting for the Warlock nerfs.
Yeah.
But we'll save Sunsinger for last here. We'll touch on Stormcaller and Voidwalker real quick if you want. Go for it, man.
So
Yeah, okay.
yeah, let's hear what you got to say. I'm really curious to hear the arguments for everything. I just want to hear what you
Okay,
guys
so
think.
I
I
gotta
love
go first.
talking about this topic. It's great. I want to hear it, Cyborg. Throw it at us.
Well, okay, let's start off with Stormcaller. Landfall is less impactful. The only problem I have with this is there's not a lot of counters to a Titan bubble, okay? I mean, you've got, what, 2 that I could think of that will actually counter it well. And so I don't see how this was such a huge problem. In fact, it's not easy to take out a Titan bubble with Landfall. Like, you have to place it just right, and I've screwed it up way more times than I've gotten it right.
Yeah, I could see your argument on that one. The nerfing it to where it doesn't last as long makes sense. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I thought that's what was gonna happen pretty much exclusively with Stormcallers. I don't know, man. But Storm Trance kills won't make it last as long. There's less. Is it less blinding, or is there?
There's no blind.
blinding?
No blind.
no blind. Yep.
No
Yep,
blind.
yep.
That kind of sucks. But I get it. I get it, because Landfall, if you've got it set up right, is almost like having 2 supers. And that's pretty much how I used it. As I wouldn't pop it until I was like over 2 people. So I'd get the double kill, and then I'd run around and kill all your friends. So it was definitely pretty powerful, and I can see the nerf. I'm not going to argue about it too much, except for that Titan bubble caveat. So
I don't
know. What do you think about this?
I think with Stormcaller, the only thing I'll argue is it's kind of like League of Legends. So all the champions back in the day, they have very basic skills. And as the game has continued, champions get more and more dynamic. They get more and more percentages of this and that, and their skills get cooler and cooler. And that's what I'm starting to find with Stormcaller, is they've got a really cool melee that's super long distance. You can buff it up so that if someone melees you first, you pretty much one-bang them. They have really cool recharge mechanics with their grenade and their melee. They can now have a landfall on their super. They have a roaming huge AoE super. They seem to have a whole bunch of really, really good things that if you don't want a super, they have a great in-between game. But they also have a fantastic super, so I don't mind that they're pulling quite a few things back. They're getting rid of the landfall, not having as much impact, no blind on it. They're now removing Storm Chance, because even though they're doing a pretty decent sized nerf to Stormcaller, they also have a lot of really good things going for them. So I don't know. I think it's fair, in my opinion.
I can agree with that there's still a lot going on. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Stormcaller sucks now, because they don't. It's still going to be a powerful class. There's a couple different builds you can do with it. You can still float around and kill as many people as you can get your hands on, too.
Still doesn't mean it's not painful for you, the Warlock.
Yeah, because, I want my power fantasy. Every class has had, its time where it was a little bit OP. Let's be honest. So, I enjoyed it, but I can't do it. I can't have it forever.
Well, they hit the Sunbreakers.
I don't even play Stormcaller that much, so I'm not really complaining.
Right.
It's pretty much just exclusively in like 6s, which I don't play that much anymore. So
which you do.
It's all good.
You do play Voidwalker, so.
Well, okay. I used to play a ton of Voidwalker, almost exclusively, and most recently, and don't hate me, Tash, for this, but I've been playing Sunsinger for about 2-3 months now.
It's okay.
In PvP. but in my defense, for the first probably year and a half of my PvP experience, I always ran Voidwalker, so I was not that jerk. Didn't change anything to Nova Bomb. I have no problem with that. I think it's fine where it is. But thank God they fixed the energy drain, because there was like a 1.5 second delay, it seemed like, to your energy drain perk actually proccing. Right. So it actually makes that build work again. And that's part of the reason why I haven't been running it, because that was the style that I liked to run. Voidwalker was an energy drain build, and I'm running around, I'm trying to use it, and it's just not proccing, and I'm dying before it procs, or I'm dying in the middle of it proccing. So I think that was a great change that they made, was just the responsiveness to the melee there. What do you guys think about this?
Arrow, thoughts?
I ran Sunsinger a lot when House of Wolves dropped, but I have not played Voidwalker enough to even chime in on this, man.
No problem.
You go for it.
I would say Voidwalker. I'm glad that they're bringing it up, because I've tried it, and I get very frustrated with sometimes Nova Bomb hitting one tiny little pole and it stops the whole Nova Bomb, things like that. So the fact that they're pulling up the neutral game a little bit, I like that. And I don't know. I think Voidwalker is going to be a little bit better. I'm probably going to play Voidwalker over Stormcaller now, just to try it and get used to it, and maybe take some people off guard, because I've got a Voidwalker. But nice. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be enough until I really play with it. But it looks good so far.
Yeah, Nova Bomb is one of those supers where you'll spend a lot of time wasting it until you and even when you get good with casting it, I'll still throw it a dang wall and be like, well, crap. Or I'll try to jump through a door and I'll put it in the door frame, like, well, crap. You know, it's one of those things. It's just a tough class to play because you're casting something and you're not. I guess unless you're running Lance, like you're not always shooting in a straight line. But I don't like that build for that class. I like to be able to cast it over the wide area, so I set it up that way so I can take out more people. For sure. Yeah, but it's more fun that way. But all right, let's talk about the real problem here. Let's talk about Sunsingers. Let's talk about what they've done here. Okay, Flame Shield, of course, because overshields have been debuffed across the board. Flame Shield has been brought down a notch. You can get it less often. Some of the other melees they said have been brought up a little bit. Solar Wind is available more. Now, I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but Solar Wind has basically been broken for a while. Like it stopped working.
Really?
So I'm assuming that they fixed it because Solar Wind just didn't work anymore. So I'm
maybe
interested
it doesn't work
to try this,
and it's available more.
Yeah, it doesn't work, but it's available more. Warlocks can suck it.
Yeah. No,
so I'm hoping they fix the perk, and if it's more effective, I'm kind of interested, especially the way they prefaced it was, hey, if you've got, a shoddy guy coming after you, you can use your melee to push him away. I kind of like that idea. but nobody uses Solar Wind that way. So I was like, oh, well, that's kind of interesting. They said a damage buff to Brimstone. That can be kind of scary. You can get a couple more grenades if you're running Radiance, but you're not running Fireborn. I can agree with that, but here's the big one, guys. Fireborn or Firebolts were not touched. Where do you stand? I know where I stand. Let's hear it from you guys first.
You're okay with it? No. What was really weird about the stream is they acknowledged that it was an issue, but that it would affect so many things that they just aren't updating it or changing it right now. I watched one of your recent videos, Tashed, and basically, you go for it, man. I have an idea of where you're going to go with this.
Okay.
Go for it.
So I made the argument in my video that, yes, I completely agree. Firebolts suck. I hate them. They're very, very powerful. They are oppressive at times to play against because it leaves you out of the game for 10 plus seconds, whether it kills you or it doesn't, because that burn is so powerful, it's so long lasting that if they don't shoot you but they hit you with a grenade, you now need to run and hide so that they don't shoot you. And if they do shoot you, you now realize, oh, well, I'm dead no matter what. So you have to either just sit there and eat the damage, or you have to try and take someone out with you before you die. It feels very panicked the second someone hits you with that grenade. But I also recognize that they don't have the best super in the game. Radiance is, pretty good. Whatever setup you're doing. Fireborn has its perks. Diamond Skin or whatever it is has its perks, or Radiant Skin or whatever it is.
Radiant Skin, yeah.
But it doesn't have a super. You can't counter a Blade Dancer. You can't counter another Sunsinger instantly like a Fist of Havoc or a Nova Bomb can. You don't have a roaming one-banger like a Golden Gun. You don't have a huge AoE super cancel like a Void Bow. So I really do get that the grenades are super strong, to an extent broken, and they should be pulled back a bit, but they also don't really have an amazing super. So you you have to level things out here. You can't just nerf the class and get rid of those grenades and make it terrible like a Titan with what's it called, like the Titan bubble. That class for the most part isn't used in PvP because it just statistically isn't that good. And if you take away the Firebolts completely and make them trash tier, Sunsinger is now a dead class that no one will play. I want them to get rid of the Firebolts a little bit, tone it back, make it so that you at least need to land maybe 70 or 80 damage to kill the person. I'm talking, a hand cannon shot, a full burst of a pulse, instead of just tapping them on the ankle with an auto rifle,
Like the ticks. Do you think it ticks too much damage?
I would like it if it was just like up front. Like it was just like offload of huge damage, or if they just did it kind of like Thorn, so they stop the burn. Because it isn't just the strength of how much damage it's doing, it's how long it's taking you out of the game and how long it's delaying your health regen, things like that. So I think that's where Bungie may have also made the mistake, is the strength in the grenade is in the damage because of how powerful it is, but it's also in how much it stops the other team from being able to play the game. If you take 3 people in the enemy team, you now either kill them because you're able to push in because they have to run, or they can just disperse and you can hold down some zones and control or something like that. It's just there's more than just damage in what is strong and what isn't strong. So I guess.
Yeah, it was weird. It was awkward how they basically said it to us at the end of the stream, but at the same time, at least another angle of it is they were honest, right? I mean, they were flat out honest about it. They didn't skirt around it.
I think people took that the wrong direction in saying, "Oh, Bungie said it's too hard. It's too hard." But okay, yeah, it probably would be difficult for them, because they would have to rebuild the entire class to make it a viable subclass. So yeah, that is hard. I'm sure at this point in the game, they're not looking to rebuild an entire subclass from scratch.
The originals.
To give it some kind of offensive capability, right? And they're certainly not going to dedicate the resources to do that when they're trying to work on new content. So, defending their position a little bit, and this isn't just coming as a guy that likes to play Warlocks and likes using Firebolts. Like, yeah, he's got to have some kind of offensive capability, and what are they supposed to do? Just completely recreate the class so that everybody can stop whining about it? I don't know. So, and my expectation was that they would probably reduce the DOT a little bit, and I probably could have lived with that, or just done some kind of adjustment to Viking Funeral. But for whatever reason, they didn't want to commit the resources, or they didn't want to imbalance something. They didn't. They lowered the flame shield. I think that's a great way to balance some of the problems that people have with warlocks, able basically to walk up and slap you in the face and you can't kill them, and then they just waste you. I've done that. I know it's not always fair to people, and so I think that was a good adjustment there. Firebolts are going to be a problem. Long term, I don't think DOT belongs in this game.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
I think it is a design flaw in year one overall that I hope that they have seen and we will never see again, because I don't think it needs to be in this game.
That's a good point, man.
All the most unbalanced things in this game have been DOTs. Thorn, everyone complained about it. Firebolts, everyone complained about it. It's just, it doesn't work.
Controversial stuff.
It doesn't feel good to play with or against. So.
Yeah, and that's, I'm not just talking about those two things either. Combo Wombo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Real powerful.
Oh, yeah. It's
people don't complain about it as much because not as many people are playing Night Stalker. It's a small piece of the meta, but it's not an overwhelming piece.
I think you mentioned
it's just as effective.
I think you mentioned, Tash, in your video that if they would have nerfed the crap out of Firebolts, then they probably would be complaining about that Wombo combo.
Yeah, and then they would be complaining about No Land Beyond, and then they'd be complaining about it's just always something. Man. So I understand why the community is really mad that Firebolts weren't nerfed.
It just seems so obvious, I guess, right?
Yeah, and I guess it's just like, what if they did nerf it a whole bunch and then they made the class useless, and then they don't want that either. So they have to do it in steps, and maybe they're not going to take 5 months in between the next patch. They're going to have this uproar. Everyone is still annoyed. Everyone can see it. They can look in their Bungie stats and say, wow, people are using a lot of Firebolts still. It's too strong. Maybe they can do a quick patch where they bring down the damage. So I think we need to just relax a little bit, be happy with some of the changes that were made, and hopefully we can get to a more balanced state sooner rather than later.
Do you think with this game being so varied like it is with so many factors, does it have a chance to be MLG competitive, at that level with all these different types of things in it?
It does. I think it does. Yeah. So I think some different rule sets would need to be put into place. Maybe even some sort of ban things, like maybe Firebolts are not allowed on the MLG circuit. Something like that. Okay, yeah. There's different ways you can balance it, but it's exciting having these supers, and if
it's so fun to watch, right?
If Luminosity is on this one team and there's I don't know who's good with the type, AE Gabriel or whatever his name is on another team, I think it would be a shame to not see some of these crazy outplays with supers and crazy outplays with these really powerful grenades that would make people stand up and go, oh my god, what did we just see? If you saw him skate into the middle of a team, they needed 3 kills to win, there's only 1 kill left, and he goes and gets a triple kill, those moments would be iconic. So I think Destiny has the potential to have really, really cool, high, exciting moments, like it would be electric in a lot of cases, but they need to get all the middle ground sorted out with balance. If there's only one gun that everyone wants to use, or if there's only one subclass, then it's not going to be that fun, dynamic experience. And there's balance in imbalance. League of Legends, there are hundreds of champions. In Dota, there's a bunch of champions. In Call of Duty, there are, certain guns that are extremely strong, and they do have those ban and protect phases. But even Call of Duty, don't they have super abilities? Or something like that. Like they have kind of those classes.
Some kind of weird stuff. I don't know.
Even though there's all these different supers and guns and all these possibilities in the game, it still works. I don't know. I think having choices isn't necessarily a bad thing. Everything doesn't have to be balanced like a Halo, So
I want to say, watching you shoutcast that tournament really kind of made it real for me. I was like, this could be a thing. Yeah.
As long as we get theater mode, custom games, all that, I think it would be so big.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see a big opportunity with the fact that Activision just bought MLG Gaming. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah.
Like it can happen. I mean, there's a lot that has to happen in between then and now for that to happen, but I can't see the opportunity being any better for this game to get to that place.
Just like a lot of things already so far, the community's already doing it themselves,
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're gonna do it one way or the other. Well, we've got an email, and I'm gonna try to get through this quick. It's a really good email. You guys take this with a grain of salt and listen to the end. It is from our Derp fan member Ben, aka BentB_42. He sent an email for MTashed, and he says, "Hey guys, I want to start out this email with an apology. MTashed, when it was announced that you're going to be on the next podcast, the first thing I said was, I despise MTashed. Many people in the community were surprised with that opinion. The rest of the community was ecstatic and had nothing but positive things to say about you. You see, around November, the announcement of the previous weapon balance update, I remember seeing a large number of the top-tier Destiny players and content creators complaining about people using shotguns as their primary weapon. This made me upset for two big reasons. First, these people complaining about the use of shotguns as primaries are the same people who effectively use a sniper as their primary weapon. Whether or not a sniper takes more skill to use, it doesn't make a difference to me. The reality is that these people were upset with a special weapon heavy meta that they too were participating in earnest. As a year one Trials player, I always considered Trials to be a battle of philosophies between aggressive pushes with shotguns and more passive playing with snipers. The December rebalance ruined this balance. Bungie managed to nerf the one thing that is integral to the use of any weapon: consistency. This lack of consistency has made shotguns an almost RNG weapon. It forced me to switch to a sniper, and while I admit it, I am serviceable, I have nowhere near as much fun. To be able to play effectively with shotguns and Trials, now it takes well-timed grenade pushes and strong team cohesion. This becomes more complicated because everyone runs snipers and plays passively. While this meta is better than the last Thorn Last Word meta, I would argue that this is probably the most boring meta in the lifetime of Destiny. But I digress. I have a couple of questions, and we're gonna just pick out one for time here, Ben. I hope you understand. But he asks, do you think that the sniper rifle nerfs are a direct result of the shotgun nerfs in December? And to wrap this up, he says, to close, I just wanted to tell you that your shotgun video from September 9th, 2015 changed my opinion of you completely, and I look forward to the new content you produce. I was instructed in this email with the phrase, protect your neck, so we could get some good old-fashioned drama going. But after my research, I have nothing but respect for you. Thanks, BentB_42. Wu-Tang ain't nothing to mess with, apparently. All right, MTashed, I will allow you to have the floor to respond to this very thorough email,
sure,
sir.
I would love to. Ben, thanks for taking the time to say that. And honestly, anyone in the community that wants to say, F you, MTashed, I don't like you, I'd love to hear their arguments on why, because it helps me improve as a person. And unfortunately, at times, my PR skills aren't the best. I am a bit of a cocky little jerk sometimes, and I come off very abrasive to some people, even though I don't try to be. I speak my mind, and I might have said something down the road that made you say, I despise you, because I don't really cater to everyone, and that's always been an issue of mine. But I'm always going to stand up for what I believe in. When you make the comment that shotguns are an RNG weapon, those guns dominated the meta for like 1.5 years. Shotguns were broken to the point of everyone complaining about it. Even people that use shotguns, they knew that they were so strong. And people were using shotguns in more situations than not. The maps are close range, so they instantly have an advantage. And shotguns were at a place of imbalance. And yep, I use my sniper like a primary because I'm pretty good with it, and it allows me to get kills that I guess, I technically don't have to engage on the enemy. I kill them before they can even do anything. But that's because I practiced a lot with a sniper. And I feel bad that people had their shotguns nerfed and they can't use them as effectively. But you now, as you said in this, you have to play more tactical. You need to use grenade pushes. I think that's fair. I don't think you should be able to just run in and slide in and pull the trigger and you get a kill every single time. I don't like when things get nerfed and people aren't able to play the way they want. The fact that you said that, they pretty much ripped shotguns away from you, that really sucks. I feel bad that now your experience is ruined, but there also has to be a moment of realizing that with how much they were being used and how easy they were to use, that there needed to at least be some even ground. Have they reached true balance with shotguns? Maybe not. Maybe they could even buff them a little bit. Will this change with snipers that they're making fix the sniper rifle problem? Maybe not. Probably not. But I mean, at least they're trying at this point. And, you made the question, do you think that the sniper rifle nerf is a direct result of the shotgun nerf? I think the sniper nerf is a direct result of everyone complaining about how good snipers are. I've never seen so many people complain about a special weapon as snipers and saying aim assist is broken. But, if you put the top tier snipers in the world with the most average snipers in the world, the average snipers, for the most part, aren't going to win because of aim assist. So, I don't know. I think snipers are a little too easy to use. I'm glad that they're nerfing it. I think a lot of people gravitated to these sniper rifles after the shotgun nerf. But, I don't know. I think sniper rifles probably would have got nerfed anyways because the aim assist value is definitely too high. And it was just a matter of time before more people caught on and realized, you know what? It might be nice to kill someone from a distance instead of pushing in and, getting meleeed after I shotgun him or take a super, things like that. So I don't know. I don't know if I answered the question properly, if I hit all the points, but I respect your opinion. I like the comment, and hopefully I didn't come off as rude there anywhere. So.
Well, Derp Fam style, Ben got constructive about it, and he didn't just stop at I despise MTashed. He went out, did a little research.
That's awesome.
And he decided, you know what? I like this MTashed guy. He's got some good points.
Yeah. No, I think you answered it well. And I think he had some good points, and I think you did too. I've been in Ben's shoes, maybe not quite to the degree that he was, but I fought against the shotgun meta for a long time because I hated it and I didn't want to be a part of it. But eventually realized, look, I also want to win. So I embraced it and became this nasty Void Walker shotgun blinking shotgun guy that everybody probably hated, but got pretty good at it a while, and then the shotgun nerf happened, and I was like, how do I want to play now?
Well,
So, like many players, I went to sniper rifles and decided, hey, this is the meta now. I've got to improve that game if I'm going to compete, because shotguns are not in a place that I feel is competitive still. But here's the thing. I can tell you from personal experience, if you are good with a shotgun now, you will still kick the hell out of some people. Mm-hmm. It still has a place.
Yeah, they're still good.
And I'm telling you that as someone who has just been stomped the hell out of with a shotgun.
Well, like you're mentioning that you did, you embraced it back when they were pretty awesome, and I never did. And Tash, I know you say in your videos you should embrace it if that's what's working, right? And man, I've been on the other end of those shotguns, and it was painful for a while.
It really was. It really was.
The only thing I'll say, before I go, I wanted to make this point is, if you look at any of those sweaty tournaments that they've had, if you look at the most competitive players in the game, there's still a heavy reliance on shotguns. You might see one or two snipers in the sweaty community, but they don't snipe because it isn't as good as shotgunning. Shotgunning wins so many different engagements and situations that once you practice a shotgun and use it properly and in the right moments, it's an extremely dominant weapon still. The issue is, now they've gotten rid of blink shotgun where you can use it as a primary and it's good in every situation, and they've made it that if you use it in the optimal situation, it's still good. So, if I go play Sweaties right now, if I go ask Anbu, Luminosity, I go ask Sir Demetrius, all these people, Frostbolt, these players have played 20 times more than I have. In that lobby, 5 out of 6 people will be using a shotgun, and the only person that's sniping is me, because I don't know how to shotgun, I don't understand the routes, but those people have practiced with it. They recognize shotguns are still amazing. You just need to adjust to the changes that happened. You have to get closer. You have to take the right angles. And I don't think shotguns are dead by any means. It's just you always have to adjust to these little changes. People that like to snipe right now, yes, it sucks that they've changed the scopes and stuff, but snipers are still going to be a thing. They're still going to be good. We all just need to, figure out how to use them again. So, yeah.
Yeah, good points, man. Very good points. Yeah, no, real quick before you go, before we wrap this up, we want to ask you just quick answer questions real quick.
Sure.
Kind of the different layer of skill levels of PvP players right now. So a couple words, whatever you're feeling. This first one, Nerdy Dolphins asks, Mike, do you have any advice for how to fix tragic aim? So, first question, what should you focus on when you are absolutely horrible at PvP? What's the first thing a Guardian should focus on?
Your aim. Hit your target. So, I mean, even with that one, there's so much that goes into that. When people say, I have really bad aim, I have to ask you multiple different things. Do you miss your shots? Are you sweeping past them? Are you not able to catch up your aim? It could be something as simple as you're playing on 7 or 8 sensitivity, and you should drop it down to about a 3 or 4, and you might be a completely different player. Most of the higher skilled players in this game, I mean, I don't want to use that comment, but they play on between a 2 and a 5 sensitivity. Most players play on 3 or 4. So if you're playing higher than that, it can work absolutely, but if you're having issues maintaining your aim on a target, it's a very good chance that your look sensitivity is just too high. So that's the first thing I say is try it out on a lower look sensitivity. If you're missing your shots, then that's a really good place to start, because everyone will gain thumb skill over time. But if there's something like massive look sensitivity that is stopping you from even shooting and being able to learn, then yeah, try that out.
All right. What about middle ground? What should you focus on if you're a solid PvPer, but you kind of plateaued at the middle ground?
So from what I normally see is the difference between a kind of a middle ground person and someone who's a top tier player is 95% of the time the little decisions we make. So it is, did you push in at a somewhat silly time? Did you not back off when there was a massive threat coming and you didn't even recognize it? Radar, understanding when someone is on your tail, when someone's above you or below you, things like that. And the best way to learn these things is to record your gameplay. I mean, any PS4 and Xbox, I'm pretty sure you can record your gameplay. If you have an Elgato, whatever you have to do, watch a game, watch your best games, watch your worst games, watch your middle games, and just look at all the choices. Every single time you die, look at what happened. If someone pushed in on you with a shotgun, look, did you see them on your radar? Did you even try to back off? Or, there's lots of things. Breaking down your gameplay is the best way to get from middle ground to top tier, in my opinion.
Yeah, you mentioned in your Crucible school that stop early. Don't play 2-3 more games and actually just go back and watch your last game.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? If you play forever, you're just going to develop bad habits, and you might not recognize that you're the most aggressive player ever. You might not even recognize that you slide in at really silly times because you're in the middle of a game. You're having fun. You want to get kills, but you might be putting yourself in terrible situations and not even really recognizing that, wow, that was stupid, until you go back and watch it, So.
Right. All right, last one, man. Very, very skilled player. High DTR, high elo.
What do you want to focus on? My biggest thing would be not getting salty. When you know how to snipe, you know how to play well, you know positioning, things like that, one of the biggest things that's going to affect you is your emotions. If you're going on tilt, you're getting pissed off because of every firebolt, every super, then you're going to start playing worse because of your emotions, not because your thumb skill isn't there anymore. It's 99% of the time you are upset, you're physically, annoyed with what's going on in the game, and it's causing you to play worse. So if you're a high skill player, you're top tier, and you want to stay top tier and playing consistently, then you need to relax, be positive, and honestly play with players that are positive as well. If you have the most cancerous teammates that are swearing at you and calling out every mistake, you're never going to feel comfortable in this game. So, yeah.
All right, man. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Those are great tips, man.
Well, thanks.
Well, awesome.
Dude.
Well, MTashed, thank you for joining us, man.
We appreciate it. Dirt fans are gonna love it, man.
Awesome. I'm happy. I'm glad you guys had me. It was lots of fun.
It's been great having you on.
Was there?
Yeah. So you've got a Bungie bounty coming up next week. Do you know what day that
April
is?
15th. Yeah,
April
1
15th,
week from now.
And that's going to be in Trials, right?
It is. Yeah. I think I'm playing with Deej and Cosmo, or Cosmo and someone else. I'm not exactly sure yet.
Nice. And that is going to be on PS4?
It will be, unfortunately. I'm sorry to the Xbox fans.
Yep. I forgive you. It's okay. I'm used to it by now. MTashed, tell all of our listeners where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube. The name is just MTashed. You'll find me. Twitch as well. I'm MTashed on Twitch. And then on Twitter, MTashed everywhere. So if you Google my name, you'll find me. But honestly, I'm not that interesting. You could do better.
I would disagree.
We had some people excited you were coming on the show, man.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah,
well, I appreciate
it,
it.
Fans.
Yeah, we'll be in touch,
great,
man.
man.
Thanks a lot for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, man. That was a great interview
Yes,
with
it was,
MTashed.
dude.
Really enjoyed it. If you guys have any follow-up questions, feel free to shoot them over to us. I'm sure he would oblige, but we covered a lot.
I'm glad we
there.
got the timing was so great, man, to have him on after the Sandbox Crucible stream.
Yeah,
and it was so nice
It really was.
to hit on everything in the stream update preview, but then also we got to get a few tips from him for every level of skill in the Derp fam, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you ready?
Ready for what?
The Derp fam feels.
Yes, hashtag Derp fam.
Hashtag. All right, this week we had Mr. Holdencourt accept the Speak Pipe
I love
Challenge
this, man.
from last week. Yeah, they got a good thing going here. We had Aesthetic X and Mr. Heaven's Oblivion challenge Mr. Holdencourt to leave a speak pipe for the fam. So let's take a listen here.
Hello, Arrow, Cyborg, and the rest of the Derp fam. It's Holden Court. Finally got my chance to get a speak pipe in. Thank you, Heavens and Aesthetics, for promoting me for what I now call the Smooch Pipe Challenge. Needless to say, you guys see me on Discord and Twitter all the time. I'm on your stream, so you know what the Derp fam means to me. It's certainly been, or feels like, less than a year. Can't believe it was last September. I sort of joined up you guys, found the podcast. Since then, I've made probably too many friends that I can't name on this 90-second speak pipe. But really want to make sure that you guys know how much the fam means to me in terms of my gaming as well as outside of life. You guys have been very supportive across various things. And hopefully can continue to pay it forward, rating or otherwise. So to continue the Smooch Pipe Challenge, I'm probably going to nominate Businessman 24 on PS4. Business, if you're listening, it's baking time. So get to it, and look forward to hearing that speak pipe as well. Keep on it, Derp fam. I'll see you in the game.
Well, thank you, Mr. Holdencourt. We appreciate the newly termed smooch pipe.
Good old smooch pipes.
That was great. We appreciate all those kind words and you accepting that challenge from Heavens and Aesthetic.
Yep. So who's up next? Mr. Businessman.
Yes, sir. Mr. Businessman.
You have been challenged to leave a smooch pipe.
I just played some sweats with him last night. So.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned that.
So that's good stuff.
That's awesome. All right, man. Hope you're listening. You got to get that in next week. Got to get on it.
Well, as usual, we also got some emails. We love the emails.
Oh, yeah.
We got one from Ben, a.k.a. Crave to Control. Subject is just a thanks. He says, first, a personal thanks for the free entertainment you guys put together every week for everyone to enjoy. I spend a lot of time driving, and I really look forward to the show every week. It means more than you guys realize to a lot of us. Thanks. Well, thank you for that, Ben. Appreciate those kind words. But on to the feels. He says, Fam Feel. I am a member of a small clan called Frustrating Bubble. The Forever 29 and Forever 31 days were a time where we had a small community of Destiny lovers that made the game like nothing I had experienced before with the controller in my hand. Endless hours of laughs and good times in the Vaulted Glass and Crota's End with some of my close friends. A few of us are still active and still pushing back the darkness, and I'm sure this new threat that is coming in April will call our friends back to battle at our sides. But I miss those days, and that's what brought me to join the Derp group and get an invite to Discord. I can't even start to remember all the Derp fam that has welcomed, invited, helped, and helped me help others. This community you have all created here is something really, really awesome. Thanks to all of you for making me feel Forever 29 again. Thanks, Derp. Crave to Control. at PSN is his gamer tag, his PSN ID. Good stuff,
nice. Man. That's a cool gamer tag.
Forever 29.
Sounds like you might need to get some help, though. We got another email from Tom, a.k.a. R2K Exodus. And subject line is Some Derp Fam Feels. Well, that's appropriate. He writes, "Hello, Guardians. My name is Tom, and I'm a big fan of the podcast. I recently joined the Derp Fam, and I could not have been happier in doing so. I used to shy away from playing online with people because of all the salt I would experience back in my Call of Duty days. I was ecstatic to see that the community here is so much better than I could have dreamed. I had trouble connecting with the group, and Joe Meaden was great in helping me out. Aeronite gave me such a great welcome that I felt I had been here forever. My first partnering with another in the Derp Fam was with Irish 116X. We ran the Nightfall with just the two of us and didn't wipe once. He did most of the heavy lifting. I guess I'll have to step it up next time. Shout out to Irish 116X for the great run. I am so happy to have found this community that you guys have started. Cannot wait to experience more of this great game with such great people. See you out there, Guardians. My gamer tag. LOL. My GT is R2K Exodus. I just wanted to put it out there in case anyone wanted to play. Thanks again." Yes. Well, thank you, Tom. I'm glad that you have found your place here with us, and glad that we were able to take care of you. You were a great part of the Derp Fam.
Thank you for the email. And just to clarify, I think we have this right. If you go searching for Mr. Exodus, it's R2K space Exodus.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. There's a space there.
It's hard for us to keep this stuff straight. Joe had to spell one out for me last week because I said exterminator, but it was just an X. We want you guys.
Joe's good.
We want you guys to be able to find these Derp Fam members. We got another email from Tyler, aka WVU Avenger 26. You guys have probably heard of Mr. Avenger. He's I believe a IRL friend of Tattoos. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Nice.
So he says, subject, Derp Fam feels. Hey, Arrow and Cyborg. I joined the Derp Fam last fall, thanks in large part to Bim's tattoos. There you go. And both of us wasted no time in becoming engraved within the community. I quickly cleared a normal mode raid a few times, thanks to some great Sherpas, and increased my light enough to compete in the hard mode raid, and have since completed challenge mode every week since challenge mode opened, thanks to the great, helpful community you all have built. I have met and become friends with numerous Guardians within the Derp Fam. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working. Thanks again for creating this great podcast and environment for players to gather. WVU Avenger 26. P.S. I'm glad you put this in there, man. Titan Masterclass.
No!
Titans all around, man.
Titans are pretty cool.
Thanks, Avenger. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for being part of the fam. We got another speak pipe from Mr. TX Andy Man. You may know him. He has left a speak pipe. Let's take a listen.
Hey guys, Arrow, Cyborg, just wanted to leave you a little message of appreciation for putting together not only a great podcast that I enjoy listening to every week, but also, and more importantly, a great community that you've been able to gather. I have made some really strong friendships through this community, and for that, I really do appreciate everything that you guys have done. I do want to send a little shout out to my book club boys, Duke, Manny, Peterson, Big Papa, Nick, Fugs, Ori. I love you guys. Can't wait to continue playing this game for as long as we can. Also want to take this time to show some appreciation to the admins. Already mentioned Manny, but Joe and Slarty for all the hard work that they do to kind of keep us all together as a community. Especially Slarty. He's really done a great job with some of the projects that we've we've jumped on. So a big shout out to him for putting that all together. And then finally, Derp Illuminati. Thanks for everything, guys. We really appreciate it.
All right, Andy Man.
Thank you, sir.
You are a cool dude. Yes. Thank you for leaving that speak pipe. And on that note, because you brought up an excellent subject, got to give some props to the Derp Fam admin team.
Always.
That would be Mr. Joe Meaden, Mr. Manny, that would be Slarty, and then also be Mr. Terry. These guys hold it down day in and day out, taking great care of our Derp Fam, Sherpaing, bringing new people into the fold, managing all the Discord and the forums. They do so much. We got to give you guys a big thank you and a big shout out from me and Arrow for everything that you do.
Well said, man. No question.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted.
Yeah. we couldn't do anything.
No way, man. These group of guys are just unbelievable. It's great leaders in the community. No question.
Absolutely.
I wanted to mention too. Andy Man, I know Manny left a speak pipe about Andy Man's probably many episodes back at this point, but he is definitely doing his part in the Derp Fam as well. He's very active.
He certainly is. Anytime I see him on, he is with a big group of guys just hanging out, doing all kinds of fun stuff on Xbox.
Thank you for that.
He's holding it down too, man. Well, this was a fun show this week, man.
Yes, it was, dude. Very exciting.
I am super pumped for this update to drop. I'm sure our listeners are too. When we come back the next week, we will talk all about it. And hopefully there will be some surprises in store for everybody when that update drops. But we'll
they always usually just fit in a few little things in there. I hope they do that again, Bungie style, right? Yeah, man, I'm pumped for this update. I'm really excited even about the PvP changes and everything, dude. I hope PoE's replayable. It's gonna be good stuff, dude. We're so close, so close.
Yeah. So see you guys on the other side, man.
Almost there.
So Arrow, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at the Arrow Knight and YouTube and Twitch at Arrow Knight. What about you, dude?
You can always find me on Twitter at Cyborg Sasquatch. And you can always find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter. You can also find us on the World Wide Web at DestinyResetPodcast.com. You can find links to all things Destiny Reset Podcast, including our Bungie.net group, our awesome Derp Fam. You will be able to go there and join us if you're looking for a great group of Guardians to play with.
You found it.
We are your source. As always, you can always email us as well at destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, and iTunes reviews, we thank you for them. We appreciate the kind words.
Oh, yeah.
We got a couple more this week. We wanted to say thanks to Manny3G and Random 981342134113. That's pretty random. But PSN, what do you think that is? You think that's
Abraxas ND.
There you go, Abraxas ND. So thank you guys so much for leaving the reviews. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely.
Good stuff, man. I can't wait to get this full episode. If you've made it to this point, it is fully went in your ear holes and you've hopefully enjoyed it.
Get hype.
Yep. All right, dude. Well, thank you guys. And of course, until next week, have fun playing Destiny and take care, Guardians.
Sir, what's Zer? That's my postmaster.
Nice, man. Postmaster, you bring the postmaster.